Hello everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I have for you guys the easiest holiday dessert ever, and this one requires just 3 ingredients. I'll be making my raspberry puff pastry star twist. Not only is this pastry incredibly beautiful and impressive, but it's also super easy to make and it's perfect for any holiday gathering. We're going to start with 3 sheets of puff pastry, spread on some raspberry jam between the layers. I'm going to show you how to make that star twisted design. It's super easy, and then we'll brush it with a little bit of egg wash and into the oven. That's it. It's super easy to make and it's so incredibly delicious with a cup of coffee or tea. For more details, more tips, head on down into the video description box. I'm going to have everything on my website. Make sure to check out my Christmas dessert collection. I have lots of incredible cakes, cheesecakes, and cookies that you guys are going to enjoy this holiday season. Meanwhile, let's get started on this recipe. And the 3 ingredients that you're going to need for today's recipe are puff pastry. I have 3 sheets of this. We're going to need about 3/4 cups of raspberry jam, and I have 1 beaten egg. This is going to be for the egg wash. I purchased the puff pastry in the freezer aisle of my local grocery store, and then I just placed it into the refrigerator to thaw overnight. You can also thaw this at room temperature. Just take it out of the fridge, let it sit for about an hour on the counter. Now this recipe will also work really great with yeast dough. So I'm going to include those instructions up on my website if you can't find puff pastry or if you just want like more of a bread instead of a pastry. I find that it's easiest to assemble this dessert on a piece of parchment paper, and then you could just slide it off the counter and onto a baking sheet. We're going to start with the first layer of puff pastry. Just flatten it out a bit. And then use a lid or like the bottom of a pan. So I'm using the bottom of a springform pan here. We want to cut out a circle. You can actually save these scraps and make other pastries with them. So I'm going to keep these on the side. Grab that raspberry jam. You can also make this with other types of jam, like strawberry or even rhubarb would taste really great here too. All right, and then we'll just spread this all over this layer. Let's get started on the second piece of dough. We'll add a second layer of raspberry preserves. And we'll add on the third and final layer. You can actually do 3 or 4 layers with this dessert. And before I start shaping my star twist, I'm going to grab a baking sheet and I'm going to slide the pastry right on. This way it's just so much easier to handle. Next, you're going to want a 3-inch circle cutter or something similar to this size. You can also use like a large glass, and we're going to place that in the middle of our pastry, and then we're going to work around it. And then you'll want to grab a knife, and we're going to cut 4 lines away from the center. Cut 4 more. And 1 more time. We are going to need 16 pieces total. And then to shape these, you're going to want to lift each wedge up and start twisting from the base. You want to have lots of beautiful twists. Twist, twist, twist. Just like that. And then we're going to pinch these ends together here. And then grab a pastry brush and brush on that beaten egg. This will give the puff pastry a really nice golden color. I have some leftover scraps here. I'm going to trim these up a little bit. Grab some of that raspberry jam. Then you can fold these over. The dough likes to stick to the surface, so if it's not flour, just run your knife underneath. Pinch those ends together and you can kind of twist the bread. Twist the dough round and round. And then into a little pastry. And then you can bake it on the same baking sheet. Isn't this star pastry so pretty and impressive? And I love the fact that it's so easy to make. I'm going to bake it at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes until it's a nice light golden brown color. I like to actually lay a sheet of foil over the top at about the 10-minute baking mark to keep it from getting too dark. And then we'll come back to dig in and enjoy. And once our pastry is done, I like to sprinkle a little bit confectioner's sugar over the top just to make it look extra special. All right, now let's grab a little piece. We could just pull it right off. I recommend letting this sit for at least 20 minutes because it is going to be kind of more softer, fragile when you first take it out of the oven. Just pull it right up. Look at that. A beautiful wedge of buttery, crispy bread. And that's it for my Star Twist puff pastry recipe. I love how this turned out. And then adding that sprinkle of confectioner's sugar on top just makes it look extra festive. Don't forget to head on down into that video description box for the recipe link up on my website. And make sure to check out all my other Christmas and holiday dessert recipes. Time to dig in and enjoy. This looks so good. I love these crispy edges here. I just need a cup of coffee or tea to go with this. This raspberry puff pastry is so simple yet so incredibly delicious. I love the texture of the puff pastry. Super buttery, crispy, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside, and then combined with those raspberry preserves, this is just incredible. So perfect for the holidays. If you have a holiday or Christmas party coming up, or if you just want to treat yourself, you have to give this recipe a try. It is ridiculously easy and so incredibly delicious. I also love that it's super easy to serve. You can just pull the pieces off the sides and enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching my latest episode. Leave me a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys, and I'll see you next time with a new recipe.